back, viewers, to episode 36 of the Music Bar podcast, and welcome back, Dan. How are you?
I'm great, Chris. I'm real good.
Good.
How about yourself?
Yeah, been a really good week. Busy, but that's what life is about, and here we are, getting this done before hopefully no technical difficulties like last time.
No. It's good. It's good to get it done. I was going to say, you did sort of message me and say, "Oh, look, what are we going to talk about?" And I was like, "Oh, I don't know. Let's have a bit of a look." And lo and behold, the world
opened up. Yeah, I've got a big list in front of me, so let's get into it straight away, eh?
Yeah.
The first thing, we did mention this last week, and I've now started seeing all these guests for the Taylor Hawkins tribute. And I'm fascinated and really happy to hear of the quality of guests who they are bringing on to these shows. So, yeah, it's really, really impressive. And that's why I wish other people would do the same thing, Van Halen. But, yeah, I'm really happy to see this kind of, like, people coming on the show who just want to,
Did you feel...
Do
you reckon some of them have Dave Grohl has asked people, and I wouldn't be surprised if some of them have actually contacted the Foo Fighters and said, "Can we be a part of this?"
Yeah, I reckon they would have done. Yep, go.
I was going to say, like Brian May is in Geddy Lee from Rush.
Yep,
is
Alex.
There. Yeah, what's that?
And Alex Lifeson from Rush.
Yes, because he was a big Rush fan, and he loved Queen, and
Liam Gallagher and Roger Taylor.
Liam Gallagher, I mean,
yeah. Chris Chaney from Jane's Addiction. So you obviously a big Jane's Addiction fan. So he's in Joshua Home. They played together. Homie, sorry, yep, Homie.
Him and the guys from Jane's Addiction were huge fans. Big friends, yeah.
One I'm a bit surprised about is Wolfgang Van Halen, Mammoth.
Yeah,
he's in both shows, London and LA.
Oh wow!
Yeah, and that's just and then Nikki Sixx is in the one in LA. Miley Cyrus is in the LA one. Alanis Morissette, Gene Simmons. Chad
he played
Smith.
with Alanis. That's where he got his start. He was playing with Alanis Morissette's band.
Yeah, that's right. Before
that's where people first saw Taylor Hawkins.
Yeah, before he got his gig with Foo Fighters. Joan Jett, Mark Ronson. So a really across the board kind of characters who are going to be on this show, which is I'd love to be there, to be honest. I think it'd be so good.
Probably in your younger days, Chris, when you used to do a bit of country hopping every now and then, I reckon I would have seen you front and center probably at the Hollywood Bowl or something like that.
I've done a lot of that in the past.
Yeah,
absolutely.
That would have been something. Yeah, something you would have done. But as we get older and responsibilities kick in and everything like that,
Well, I did fly to LA for the Van Halen concert, but I wouldn't do that now. Fly over for a concert because I've got a kid. But those things change everything, as you know. But
the money involved too.
It all goes to daycare and schooling now.
Yeah.
And food for the little monster. Man, a lot of kids can eat. I just want to touch base with that because I just think it's really, really awesome that they've got such a big collective of guests. I think it's really great. So I can't wait to see the footage of it. I hope they release it in some form. It'd be good if it was actually streamed live.
Like they did with Linkin Park.
Yeah, exactly right.
That was streamed live, and that was really, really good. I watched that. That was really well done, well put together. And so they'll probably have to do some kind of live streaming because not everyone will be able to go and see it. So
no,
I hope they do. But as you said, great lineup.
I reckon it'll sell out real quick.
Hey,
I reckon it'll sell out really quick.
Oh yeah. Easy done. Easy done. Easy sell out.
Yeah. You mentioned earlier today about the Kiss. They've moved their tour forward.
Yeah. They were supposed to be here in November, and then I got notification that they've moved it forward to September, which I was surprised by. I was
too.
Absolutely. Yeah, not often you hear of a band moving their itinerary forward. Right. Obviously, they had an opening. There was a gap in the Australian market at the time.
Mm-hmm.
So yep, Kiss come forward because normally I'll give you an example. The Brisbane concert sold out. It was a sold out show. But moving the show forward, then there's people who go, well, I can't go to that show. So they put, unless they're extra shows or something, but I was just really surprised by it. And I'm thinking, oh, okay. Kids have brought their, look, we'll get into this in a bit later because there's stuff to talk about. But look, there was a bit of a thing about Kiss lip syncing. Paul missed the vocal cue, but the song started playing, or that's right, there was the singing was going on, and Paul was away from the microphone. And some people said, Kiss lip syncing or something like that. I say there's a yes and a no to this.
Yep.
I think what a lot of bands do, and I think Kiss do it too, and a lot of bands do this. We talked last week about vocal range, how people are, changing their vocal range, so to speak. And we had, I mentioned Paul Stanley can't sing like he used to. Some bands I've noticed do use a backing track for the vocals to get the high notes and things like that. So they can sing along to almost like a guide track in a way.
Right. Yeah.
And that's what I think Kiss do. They sing, God, just to blame Kiss for singing along to tapes, they used to play a tape and Peter Criss would go at the front and sing Beth. Any other band, you'd boo them off stage, but because it's Kiss, everyone just loves them. If Paul's singing along to a guide backing track to augment the vocals, then so be it. If that's what the guy's 70 now, I think he still looks great. They're still out there trying to put on a Kiss show, which, as we all know, Kiss put on the biggest show in the world. So if he does, he does. But it doesn't seem like he's miming to the whole damn thing. I think he's just singing along to the guide track, and he just sort of lost his space, as some of us can do when things happen. But I'm not going to sit there and go, you know what, you're lip syncing, Paul. I don't want to see a show where he's lip syncing.
No, fair enough.
There's a lot going on in a show like that, with a lot of pyrotechnics and a lot of effects and cues and things like that. They got there's a lot going on and look, I wouldn't be surprised if they were the only ones who did it. But I think people get this idea that, oh, geez, if I was listening to is that sirens? My goodness. Okay, right. They've obviously coming to get me now, Chris. So if you're hearing sirens in this, like they've obviously found it, because I'm in my garage. Mm-hmm. Yeah, quiet in there. Shut up, I'll feed you in a second, that sort of thing. Anyway, look, if they are, they are. Remains to be seen. We talked last week about people's vocal abilities, and maybe that's Paul's way. Gosh, the end of the road tour. They won't be coming back from this one. I reckon.
You reckon this is Kiss's last one?
It has to be. I think. I think. Yeah, it has to be. I think even they know it now that it has to be. It's way. It's time. Yeah, let's go. I just don't think Paul can sing like he used to, and at 70 to still be putting on that costume.
I reckon that costume, though, will be a lot lighter now than it would have been when I first made it. With new materials being made, imagine what it would have been originally, It's crazy to think.
And I think they talked a lot about how they wore a lot of black leather. That would have stunk to high heaven. Or, as you said, spandex and costumes change and things like that, Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. just where they probably got hundreds of costumes and chuck one out and put another one on. You know, they can afford all that stuff.
Absolutely, so, absolutely. Speaking of people who can't sing very well anymore, which were, you know, reaching their high age and high notes. Obviously, Motley and Def Leppard are out there now, and we're starting to get footage of their concerts. I've seen them, Motley.
Last night, the show opened in Atlanta, this stadium tour.
Yep.
You and I have talked this up big time, haven't we? We've said if this comes to Australia, we got to go and see this show. You and I have talked this up.
Yeah, for sure.
All right. So I said, I saw the footage had come in, because one of the things Chris said is, what are we going to talk about? Motley footage is in. Let's have a look.
Well, what did you think of the footage so far of Motley Crüe? I saw Wildside, and Wildside was out, and Kickstart My Heart.
First thing I felt like saying was, turn it up. I can't hear you. Turn it up.
Yeah. Mind you, we're watching from a phone view. It's not like recorded properly. It is a person's phone in the audience. Always take that into consideration.
Yeah, but how many times have you watched phone footage on YouTube and it still sounds good?
Yeah, but I don't think the crowds have that big a PA either. It's a big PA system. I think that would be a massive PA system. Hard to gather.
Yeah. Okay. But really underwhelming.
Very much so. It was a very boring show, from what I could see. He didn't sing Kickstart very well at all. If it wasn't for the backing vocal singers who also danced, the two females, most of those high notes would not have been reached at all. So, and then the Tommy Lee thing happened.
Halfway through the show, he goes, "Oh, man, I broke 4 ribs. Here's the other guy."
Yeah, so 5 songs in, actually. He only made 5 songs.
Yeah, okay.
And he came out on stage and said, you know, I've broken 4 ribs 2 weeks ago. He did. He didn't want to cancel the show because of that reason, so he decided to come out and play as much as he could. And after 5 songs, he decided to come out and say, sorry, I can't play anymore. My mate's going to play instead. And that's what happened. He walked off. He'll keep trying, apparently, every show to play as much as he can, and then the other guy will take over. I think there's good things in that. I also think there's some bad things. A lot of comments I read were, I didn't pay to see a stand-in drummer. But he also paid a lot of money to see a concert, not just of Motley Crüe. It was just them only. I could understand it. But you also see Def Leppard, Poison, and Joan Jett. So you paid a lot of money for a lot of bands, not just the headliners of Motley Crüe. So I think if I was there, I would have been happy with that result. If he's got broken ribs and he's playing 5 songs, good on him for not cancelling at all. You know what I mean? And, you know, some people can play guitar like Foo Fighters. He broke his leg, whatever it was, and he sat in the chair and played guitar for the concert. I think breaking your ribs and playing drums will be one of the hardest things to do.
Well, we have talked about how hard drumming can be on the body.
Exactly right. Exactly right.
You know, Tommy's got he's got pins and plates all through his ankles. You and I have suspected that Taylor Hawkins must have been playing in some kind of pain or something like that. Yeah, he was his back, or Phil Collins his back is absolutely ruined from playing the drums, you know. So yeah, you know, there's a lot to be said for that. The drumming wasn't so much a thing for me. No. What kind of got me about it was the absolute ordinariness of the show itself.
Yeah, agreed.
For something that is a stadium show that has been promoted as such, you know, I've seen the Carnival of Sins tour. You went to the End tour, and I've seen the footage of those. They just bang right from the word go. You were just like blown away by the whole thing. Never got blown away by any of it. It just seemed like they had under-rehearsed. Yeah. They were almost treating it like a warm-up gig, which I was a bit kind of, but it was just complete. But the presentation of it all, you know, U2 in the early 90s with their Zoo TV show showed you what a stadium show could be. And I think after the 360 tour, Mick Jagger famously said, well, it's all Star Wars from here. And for a show, these are bands that, U2, even AC/DC know how to put on a massive stadium show. This didn't look like a massive stadium show to me. This looked like, so what's Tommy Lee's big stunt if this is it? What's he going to do? I was just, and I know, all right, people will then argue and say, oh, you don't go to see Motley Crüe for all that, the songs, that at least they played the songs. Oh, yeah, okay. Well, play the songs well then, or look like you half give a crap, but none of them, and because I'm going to go on the opposite side here, because I did catch the Def Leppard footage.
Yep, same.
From someone with a phone, same sort of thing. And the difference was staggering. Def Leppard obviously went on after Motley Crüe because it's dark, it's nighttime. The power and the sound of Leppard, the massive sound, the musicianship, everything was just, it was like chalk and cheese. It was whoa, these guys sound amazing, They were on song. And, you and I, we talked last time about the Jimmy Kimmel show and the Roxy and the Whiskey A Go-Go show. Yeah. And they were clearly warming up. Yeah. Warm-up gigs, they do work, and going back into a club, they were clearly ironing it out. They were blowing out the cobwebs, and then they come out and do a stadium show that you just watched and listened to and just went, whoa, this is really something. I never got that watching the Motley Crüe videos. I know it's someone's phone and I wasn't there and everything like that, but you know what I'm saying, Chris, don't you?
I do.
You know what I'm talking about.
Regarding Def Leppard, I saw those two videos. I just watched the last two songs of their concert, which was Rock of Ages and Photograph. I just watched the video of those, and Photograph was pretty good, to be honest. And I thought, Rock of Ages was pretty good. Photograph, I think, was a little bit iffy, but if I was there, I wouldn't have cared. And I saw the opening track, which is their new song off the new album.
Pretty good.
Yeah, it is. But I can't say I put that in the category of the other stuff, because they would have recorded that already with the voice that's not the best, So he wouldn't have sang on the recording of the new song the way he would have done back in the day, which we all want to hear, the classics.
Of course.
So he could sing the first song really easily. It's based on his current voice, where those other songs, that's where you start hearing how bad it is. But honestly, Rock of Ages sounded really, really good vocally. And then Photograph, between the two of them, between the backing vocals and him, a few harmonies were a little bit off, I thought. But overall, if I was standing there watching it, I would have been very happy. And I think what you said before, like last week's episode I was a bit picky of them on the Whiskey A Go-Go show. Yeah. Like you said a moment ago, I totally believe what you said. I totally agree. They were warm-ups, that and Jimmy Kimmel, and I think they've done the right thing for their fans, where Motley Crüe have done nothing for their fans.
Yes. I agree with that 100%, Chris, but it's almost like, where's the respect for the fans?
Yeah.
Where's this respect for the fans? It didn't feel like, some of the comments were, I waited 2.5 years for this show and this is what I got.
Yeah.
There was no, I remember you said something ages ago about them rehearsing and taking a long time to rehearse. And then I realized, no, this is June.
Yeah, they haven't got time.
To a couple of weeks ago. And it really showed. Yeah. Whereas Leppard, we're doing the right thing by the fans. Yeah, it looked like, Vince Neil had trimmed down a bit and, he was still singing the way. He's just doing what he's doing and dancing around the stage and doing what he does. But I just, I feel, now look, it could improve as the show goes on, but I just feel that not even just them, the presentation of the show and everything, it just seems a little half-assed. It's almost like they've gone, we
need some money. Let's go on tour.
Let's go on tour and try and get these new young fans. And I don't even think the band themselves are into it that much.
No.
And even Nicky looked like the only one who was kind of into it. And even then, he just looked, at times I thought he looked a little kind of distracted. And, you know, because then when you see that and you go, you know, you and I both said, who's going to headline? Is it going to be Motley Crüe or is it going to be Def Leppard? Well, clearly Def Leppard are the headliner. There's no doubt about it.
Should be.
Yeah.
You finish on a high note.
The quality, everything like that, the musicianship, the care, the attention, Def Leppard are your headliner. The stage show, the presentation, the lighting, everything. Def Leppard were the headliner in my books. Easily.
I agree. Totally.
Yeah, thank you.
I did see some footage though too. I saw some footage today of Poison because obviously they are second. I don't know if it's the same concert, but it was definitely in the last few weeks. I can't remember. It didn't show the date. It looked like it was the same concert. I don't know. I can't guarantee it was, but they're saying nothing but a good time. And from what I could see, again, camera being held by a audience member, only maybe about 20 or so rows back or from the front. I have to say they were fantastic. Musically,
everyone has said
Brett Michaels' voice was really good.
Everyone has said prior to this show, I remember reading a lot of the comments where people saying, you know, Poison are going to wipe the stage with the, you know, they're going to wipe the stage because they're still playing well. And Brett Michaels is singing very, very well. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. So I was really happy to see that. I haven't seen anything with Joan Jett yet, but I'm sure I'll find it. But one thing about Def Leppard I was a bit surprised at by seeing the set list is they didn't sing Let's Get Rocked, which is one of their biggest, poppiest songs that brought in a whole new generation of fans, which was surprising because I've liked that song ever since it came out. It's such a catchy, hooky song. They don't play it. I'm really surprised by that.
Yeah, that's a surprise. And you know, and yet here's another one. I did read this article on some people were talking about the possible set lists of each artist.
Yeah.
And they talked about will Motley Crüe do Girls, 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 considering the world we live in now and all that stuff. And yet they did it. And I was actually surprised that they threw that in the set list. Now, the set lists of both artists are pretty extensive too. It's not like they're doing a short show. They're both doing quite full-length shows. So you're really getting a long day, afternoon into evening with this particular show. I'd like to see some improvement, but I'm not now. I'm sitting there watching going, I'm worried, Chris. I'm worried.
Yeah. Nah, fair enough.
I haven't paid money for the show yet, and you and I as I said, you and I talked this thing up.
Yeah.
We're in this together, Chris.
Yep, we are.
We are.
Now, speaking of big shows, there's a show coming to Australia, a festival.
I know.
Have you seen the lineup for that one? And how good is that for Australia?
Oh, the Good Thing Festival, isn't it? I believe it's the Good Thing Festival it's called or something like that.
It is called Good Things.
Good Things.
2022. Bring Me to the Horizon, Deftones. And one of my favourites, obviously, is Tism.
You love Tism. Because I sent you the guest list and you went, Tism. I'm thinking, look further down.
Yeah, I know. Gajura.
Gojira. How far down the list is Gojira?
I know. I actually really surprised they're actually on the 1, 2, 3, 4th line below Tism. But yeah, you've also got Soulfly, which is pretty far down the list. But yeah, they're playing Brisbane, they're playing Melbourne and Sydney. That's it. Only one show each. But yeah, Tism are back, but Gajura's coming. And I really do hope, because I won't go to this concert. I won't go to this festival. I've never really been a festival kind of guy. But I do hope they tour.
I haven't been to a festival in years. It just doesn't, the body just doesn't enjoy those sorts of things anymore. And after my last festival, I kind of realized if you go to the festival to see bands, you'll come away a little disappointed. If you go to the festival just to go, like people used to go to the big day out, they didn't care who was playing. They just used to go to the big day out. If you go there just to get into the vibe of the whole thing, and because, you'll have a really great time. I saw those people enjoyed it more than someone like me who would go, no, I'm here to see this band. And,
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and the older I got, the less I kind of enjoyed them. But I really do hope Gojira do a sideshow. So
do I. I'll be there.
Yeah,
I would love to see them play.
I would be there for Gojira's sideshow. They're gonna love playing in front of that big crowd.
Absolutely, it's been a long time.
20 years apparently since they've played a show. So but what a lot. I mean, look, Bring Me the Horizon to headline this show is huge. That's a big thing for that band. So they get a good crowd. I mean, we haven't had a festival like this. I think Unify has been around for a while, but Soundwave, this sort of really reminds me of a Soundwave lineup, when Soundwave used to get some great acts coming in, it pleases me because I do like the big festivals because it gives an opportunity for a lot of local artists, but a real mix of artists. I mean, it's a very heavy, punky metal kind of show, but you'll see lots of stuff. And obviously half the fun is, as I said, you go to see your bands, you sit there and you get your sheet and you go, right, who do I see? Who do I go and see? Oh, geez, if I go see Gojira, I'm going to miss these guys. But, they're the decisions you make. You have to make some tough decisions on days like that.
You do.
And I encourage everyone to go and buy a ticket if you're so keen to go, because I reckon you'll have a great time. December 4th is just in the middle of thunderstorm season in Brisbane, so it'll be an entertaining. It'll be hot, sweaty, humid, and possibly very stormy.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, we're on to the cool thing.
Cool thing! Yay!
So, I've been watching a lot of YouTube lately, and I have to say, my metal fans who watch this show, who know I love metal, are pretty disappointed in my cool thing this week because I've been, I've been watching this stage show on this concert. When I was living in London, there was talk about a band coming out and doing a gig, which hadn't been done for a long time. They had been kind of together for a while. And then I moved to New York, and that's when they played the concert. So I didn't get to go see it, but I would have done if I was living there. And that band is a band called Take That. Now, Take That are a boy band from England.
You did it. You did it. We haven't done this in so long, but we started this show talking about what did we start talking about at the start of the show? and now you haven't done
Taylor
this
Hawkins.
ages. Gone to Take That. You've done the Spice Girls. You've got Belinda Carlisle. Chris, deep inside.
You have to listen to why I'm saying this, why I'm talking about this stage show, why I'm talking about this show. Like, I do like some of their songs. They've got some pretty good songs, good songwriters, but this is their first concert. Back in 2011, they came out with an album, a tour called Progress. And I was watching the stage show, and they had this is when Robbie Williams joined them after he quit ages ago. He came back and did this tour. So it was all 5 members again. And they sing a song called The Flood. And when they sing there's this massive big stage. On the very top of the stage is this massive big statue of a man holding his arms out. And at the very top, all 5 of them are singing above the stage. Then they get lowered down. But when they're singing The Flood, the whole wall, which is normally a big screen, is a waterfall. And you have all these people, like there must be about 9 people dancing abseiling, dancing in the waterfall when they sang the song Flood. And I was very, very impressed by this. I've never seen that before. And that's why I'm talking about this.
Okay.
I know most people won't listen to Take That, but if you have a chance, go put in Take That, The Flood, and watch the live version of the Progress tour and see this for yourself. These people are hanging off ropes, dancing in waterfalls while the band are above them singing, and then come down to the stage later on, and they are singing the rest of it on the stage. But how cool that was to me was just like ingenious, because it's something different that you'd never see ever. And that's why it was my cool thing. Plus, there's a robot that comes out halfway through, a statue of a man. I reckon he would be at least 6 stories high. And he slowly gets bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. And to me, when I was watching that happen, I was like, wow, that's pretty. That's not during that video clip, it's during the whole concert. He comes out later on, and in the middle of the crowd, he starts getting taller and taller and taller and taller. And just to see that, and the money these guys must have put into the production and the making of the stage show, is just blew me away. You know, I've seen Pink flying around, I've seen Roger Waters and his show, but this one really took me like a little while to comprehend the money these guys have spent on their show. So if you have a chance, go watch The Flood and watch the waterfall dancing. It's pretty good. But then if you find the episode where the whole concert and watch the big giant statue come out of the ground and just raise up, it's actually pretty cool to watch, even if you're not a big Take That fan. That's my cool thing. 2011, okay. Robert Williams. Back in the show.
I'll pay that for you, Chris, because it kind of does tie in. I mean, Take That. Wow. You are something else.
I love a good song.
It goes back to what I said about Motley Crüe's production on this stadium tour. You just talking about Take That, who are admittedly huge in England only. They were massive, you know, boy band from England. And the production values a boy band show in that. And then to see the Motley Crüe show, which was kind of like, where is it?
Yeah.
What is it? You know, where is it, guys? You know, so what the hell was Vince Neil wearing?
I don't talk about Vince Neil. Yeah, you can need your cool thing. You're about to run out of time, buddy.
Oh, well, my cool thing, I was going to mention it last week, was this guy called Steve Wallace on YouTube. He does stealth camping. He camps on roundabouts and intersections. He camps on median strips, and they're just really cool videos. And he, you know, because obviously in America, if you get busted doing stuff like that, you get done for vagrancy and things like that. So it's kind of cool, and I get a kick out of it. And so, Oliver, you know, we're really out of time because Chris had to talk to us about Take That. He did tell me he needed time for that, and now I can see why. Well, okay,
if you see it, you'll understand it. It's amazing.
Yeah. And if you do see it, like and subscribe if you haven't done that before. He said, I was brung here by Chris from the Music Bar podcast, and I saw that Take That video, and I'm a different person after seeing that. Like and subscribe. Thank you very much for watching. Thank you, Chris.
Thank you very much, everybody. Talk to you soon. Talk to you next week.
Bye now.